Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm also going to talk about a few other things that are very bullish for crypto. JP Morgan expects US debt ceiling to become an issue as early as May. Now I already think it is an issue. But depending on how big this issue gets, it can be very bullish for crypto. And you know, the one thing I see is that the mainstream media news is spending way too much time on this raising the debt ceiling issue. What are they keeping us distracted from? I'm sure something much bigger is going on in the background. China wants to weaken the US dollar, White House says. Now they're saying this on April 18th, 3 days ago. If they're saying this now, we're already in trouble in this country because for almost a year now, I have done multiple videos talking about country after country breaking away from the US dollar. And I said, once the US dollar falls in value, look out, crypto and the stock market is going to take off. And I know that is definitely coming. China already has an alternative to SWIFT called Cross-Border Interbank Payment System. The Western sanctions against authoritarian governments are giving rise to new partnerships, and the yuan is the closest competitor to US dollars. Now, country after country is going to have announcements of breaking away from the US dollar. That's because Operation Sandman is in full effect. 100+ countries ditching the dollar. But I did a video recently where I talked about how the BRICS announced that in August they're going to move into what's called phase 2. And when that happens, that could push down the value of the dollar even more. That's why I believe this winter is going to be very big for crypto as well. Homebuyers with credit scores of 680 or higher will pay $40 per month more on a home loan of $400,000. Buyers with down payments of 15 to 20% will get socked with the largest fees. Buyers with riskier credit ratings and lower down payments will get lower rates and fees. This is absolutely absurd. And you know, I already know the housing market is in trouble. I know people personally that bought houses that they cannot afford. They should have never even got approved for the mortgages. And I still think the banks are writing bad mortgages all throughout this country right now. But you're a crypto investor. You wouldn't buy a house now, not at an all-time high. You're going to buy the dip, and I know that dip is coming. But we live in a world now where everything you ever taught was right is now all of a sudden wrong. It's like it's an upside-down world all of a sudden. But when you see something like this, you know the housing market is doomed. Crypto law founder John Deaton looks forward to the day Gary Gensler is investigated. In a recent tweet, Deaton, who supports Ripple and the XRP token affiliated with it, stated that he believes Gary Gensler should be investigated in the future. His expectation is based, aside from other arguments, on not pursuing the crimes of Chinese executives in the U.S. markets while attacking the crypto space, according to a tweet on which Deaton made a comment. Now, I feel Gary's turning his head against these Chinese executives because he doesn't want to see what's going on. He doesn't care because his handlers are telling him, give China a free pass. And where's that coming from? Most likely this administration, where you see Hunter Biden making a lot of money off of China, as well as this White House. I believe right now there's a handful of people in this country that are working against the American people. But now we're starting to see some people rise up and fight for the American people as well. You know, it's hypocritical what's going on at the SEC, and I do hope Gary gets investigated. Again, the decision in the SEC versus Ripple case is the biggest verdict in global finance history. The pressure is on like no other for Judge Torres to make a verdict on this case. Now, I'm going to play this video and I'm going to give you my thoughts.
This decision gets bigger and bigger. So I just want you to think about those of you out there who are thinking about this. Why hasn't she ruled yet? What I doubt very seriously that Judge Torres has ever felt the pressure that she's feeling right now. Ripple is sending, hey, Judge, look what the judge in Voyager said. Look what Judge Gorsuch of the Supreme Court said about fair notice. All of these things are happening after. She's getting more information. Look at the SEC's conduct. Look at Binance. Look at the CFTC. All of this stuff is happening in the background where you got guys like me saying the regulatory clarity is going to come from her. You've got the library decision. You don't think she's aware of all this? So this decision is as big of a decision that this judge has ever faced. Think about it. What other decision is as big as this decision when it comes to global trade and finance in modern history? I've said before that this case is the most significant non-fraud SEC enforcement action since 1946. So that kind of pressure, personally, I don't blame Judge Torres for being very careful of how she words this decision because A, if it goes against Ripple, she knows it's going up to a conservative court. And if it's for Ripple, she has to justify it and all those things. So just be patient. We're almost at the end. Everybody have a great night. See you next.
Now, my problem is this. We just watched Gary Gensler in front of Congress. He didn't answer any of the questions. In fact, Tom Emmer asked a question and then answered his own question because Gary didn't want to say the wrong things and piss off the people he actually works for. And this judge has to see that. So why can't she make this decision already? 77,000 plus XRP holders' lives hang in the balance. If she ruled for Ripple right now, it would be life-changing to 77,000 plus people. That's why I always said, I'm tired of talking about this case. I want it to wrap up already, and hopefully she does it very soon. Volante, relation with Ripple, here it is. So, Volante does work with Ripple, or with the Federal Reserve, as part of the FedNow pilot program. We have used our partners with Ripple on a couple of specific projects in Latin America. But as of now, that partnership is not one of our primary areas of focus. So, is Volante saying they're not going to utilize Ripple as part of FedNow? And even if they don't, I look at FedNow as a massive failure. I think it's going to fail right out of the gate. But you know what I think is going to happen next? Is that the U.S. at some point is going to fall into that massive liquidity crisis. And guess what? They're going to embrace Ripple and XRP. They're going to need that on-demand liquidity one way or another. The future of money should be open source, permissionless, and decentralized. There has been a lot of discussion lately about CBDCs, the role of XRP, and cryptocurrencies in general. It's important to point out the differences and clear up misconceptions. So you see a CBDC versus XRP. CBDC, unlimited supply. XRP, limited supply of 100 billion. CBDC is centralized. XRP is decentralized, no single point of failure, open source, maintained by the global developer community. CBDC, opaque monetary policy. XRP, clear monetary policy. CBDC, closed and permissionless. XRP, open and permissionless. Risk of seizure under a CBDC. XRP, unconfiscatable. No risk of seizure if keys are stored correctly. CBDC, privacy invasive. XRP, privacy conscious. And again, that's one big thing, privacy. People do not want a CBDC. I would bet, not right now, 99.9% of people hate a CBDC for one reason. They know it can be used against them and they have privacy concerns. CBDC enables censorship. Parties in control can exert influence and control to restrict access, limit usage, and edit, reverse, and block transactions. XRP, censorship resistant. No one person or group of people, governments can prevent anyone from transacting or edit reverse transactions. So there you go. That's the difference between a CBDC and XRP. And every country's going to have to utilize XRP because they need that trust layer in between two CBDCs in the future. And people still don't seem to get that either. Then there's this. Ripple CTO clarifies XRP retail sales. Here's what you need to know. Now, there's been a heated argument going on around this. So, in a Twitter post, Ripple CTO David Schwartz diffused heated debate regarding the sales of XRP. The argument centered on if the creation of XRP was explicitly for sales or not. The CTO explained that the purpose of developing Ripple is to ensure a wider distribution of XRP. This strategy will help the company generate huge income from XRP retail sales and also support its operations. Before now, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse stated that XRP retail sales had supported the survival of the firm. This statement sparked questions and debates on the firm's dependence on XRP token sales for revenue. There were several online arguments regarding Ripple's dependence on the sales of the XRP tokens. Some critics cited that relying on the asset indicates a lack of sustainable business model on the part of Ripple. Also, the reliance creates doubts over the legitimacy of XRP as a crypto asset. However, Garlinghouse mentioned that the company would still flourish and produce more money even without indulging in the sales of XRP coins. The executive made the statement during an interaction with Financial Times. Now, I know for a fact Ripple is going to grow and expand into the future. XRP is going to be utilized more and more on a daily basis in the future as well. And yet people are still concerned about Ripple selling XRP tokens to stay afloat at certain times. I'm sure they did in the past. But as all these new partnerships are popping up and you see more and more growth for Ripple, it has me wondering that they're still selling tokens to keep the business going. I feel Ripple's very strong, and I know XRP is with us for the long term. XRP is on the verge of a major breakout. Signals are flashing left and right. Now, so a lot of people said the chart right now looks like it did right before XRP reached its all-time high. And it really does if you look at the two of them. But, when you see a dip like this, everybody worries. Right away, they think the sky's falling. You're an XRP holder. You could expect anything to happen. Let's face it. Back in 2020, I never thought the SEC was going to sue Ripple. I never thought that case was even going to get started. But then all of a sudden, I woke up one day and XRP was plummeting. And, I held through that. So I'm going to continue to hold. Because I know at some point this market's turning around. And when it does, the green euphoric candles are coming. And XRP is set for a new all-time high. It's just a matter of time. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.